In this episode, you are going to learn from a professional running physio/physical therapist what exactly a bent knee calf raise is, why you should do it, how to make it harder/progress it, how to avoid doing it wrong, and a few other secret hacks, tips, and tricks, and a bunch more. We got a lot of hands in there. Let's get into it. Number 3, bent knee calf raise. Tell me what it is.
Okay, so these are important for runners too. If you picture a traditional calf raise, the only change we do here is that we bend the standing knee. So essentially we put one foot on a step, bend your knee. In this position, you then lift your heel up by moving the ankle only. So the knee needs to stay in the same degree of flexion throughout the entire movement. As you lower down, you allow the heel to drop below the depth of the step, and then coming back up to recommence the next repetition.
All right, why is it important?
This one's super important for runners because it's targeting our soleus, which is our endurance calf muscle. So the soleus, it can take on up onto 6 to 8 times our body weight when running, and it needs to be able to do this over a prolonged period of time. So it's one of the key calf muscles we want to ensure that we can have an efficient stride and reduce injury through the Achilles tendon too.
Yeah, I've had kind of a little asterisk. Let's double click on, I like saying double click. It's my new thing now. I'll probably say it for the next few months. Let's double click on how do you say it? Soleus?
Soleus.
Soleus. American, I say soleus.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. It's like aluminum, 2 different words.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress. I actually strained my soleus. It's so hard to say that. My soleus. Way back when I started training for Ironman, this is 2016, I was like putting on a whole lot of load, basically a lot of cycling, a lot of running, and I was ramping it up way too fast. And I never experienced that. And I thought it was my calf. And then I had a physio. They were like, yeah, it's a soleus. I was like, what the hell is it? She's like, it's part of the gastrocnemius, which is, everyone thinks that's the calf. It's just, the soleus is it's the thing along it's the muscle along the side, right?
Oh, no. It runs almost all the way down the length of your tibia, and the gastrocnemius sits quite literally over it.
That's the fat part.
Yeah,
and the calf is the whole thing.
And the difference is the gastrocnemius crosses the knee joint. So when you're bending your knee in the bent knee calf raise, it takes the gastrocnemius off stretch, and then just the soleus is working.
Oh.
And the soleus doesn't cross the knee joint. It runs up and just sits there on the tibia at the top.
Got you. Yeah, and I learned the bent knee calf raise very quickly, and that it is for distance runners. It's the endurance. It's a slow twitch muscle, whereas I come from the sprinting background, the 200, 400, 800 meters, and I definitely have more fast twitch muscles, and I wasn't strengthening
the gastroc
that.
is more of the power one, where the soleus is more of the endurance one.
Yeah, so I learned quickly what that was, and a lot of people don't do enough strengthening around this. And I guess another point that I want to add to that is when you do the bent knee calf raise, you also work the quad,
Correct, yeah.
Right above the knee.
Kill 2 birds with one stone.
Yeah, which as runners, knee is one of the biggest issues that a lot of runners have. So it's a great one for that. So how do you do it?
So with a bent knee calf raise, you stand on the edge of a step, you bend your knee. Now the knee needs to stay in the same degree of flexion throughout the entire movement. From this position, you lift up your heel by flexing the ankle forwards. We call this plantar flexion. And then we lower the ankle back down below the height of the step. As we come up, that is the second repetition starting. But once again, that knee needs to stay the same throughout the entire movement. A common mistake I see is as people lift up, they lift their knee up as well to facilitate the movement, where it all just needs to come from the ankle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I guess, inverse how to do it wrong. Going really deep and bending very low, do you get any more benefits out of it? Or
it gives you a greater eccentric range of motion, but you don't need to feel like you need to push down. Like once you feel like you've hit your range of motion, that's fine. Come back up.
Awesome. And actually, we should have talked about what would be like a workout for bent knee calf raises, and we can actually go back and...
Oh, like how many sets and reps? What do you do?
For just general... they run 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think starting off with a 3x12 rep range for your soleus bent knee calf raise is a good idea. I like to break things into 4s. You could do 3x12, then down to 4x10 for another 4 weeks, and then you can go to perhaps 5x8 for another 4 weeks. So essentially you're reducing the rep range, you're increasing the load, and that's going to help, build strength in the tendon and the muscle itself over that time frame. If you haven't got any equipment at home, you can always, I tell some patients, get a bag, put some books in there and make it nice and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water bottles. Yeah. If you want to learn more about this topic, we went into further detail. You should go and check that out right here.